have to say about that? We're gonna find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Suplex Report. Get ready for all things WWE, news, match analysis, and more. Hit that bell so you never miss the action. The lights of Las Vegas are preparing for the biggest wrestling showdown the city has ever seen, and one name is echoing louder than the rest: Brock Lesnar. But this time, the Beast Incarnate isn't stalking his next victim. This time, he's the one being hunted. The hunter is none other than the Nigerian Giant himself, Omos. Out of nowhere, Omos has officially called out Brock Lesnar for a colossal rematch at WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. Two giants, one unfinished rivalry, and a city built on spectacle. This is more than hype. This could be one of the biggest matches WWE has built in years. Welcome to Ring 2 Reality, where we break down the biggest stories, rumors, and dream matches in WWE today. Tonight, we dive into the monster-sized showdown that could rewrite WrestleMania history forever. The call-out that shook WWE. It all began with a simple video clip that spread like wildfire. TMZ Sports caught up with Omos outside a training facility earlier this year. Calm, composed, and towering over the camera crew, Omos talked about his excitement for WrestleMania returning to Las Vegas. He said last year's event was electric and he couldn't wait to compete again in front of a roaring Vegas crowd. But then came the moment that sent wrestling Twitter straight into a meltdown. When asked who he wanted to face at WrestleMania 42, Omos didn't hesitate. He looked into the camera and said 5 words that would light the fuse: "I want Brock Lesnar again." He paused, smirked, and repeated it with conviction: "We need to run it back." That quote was all it took. Within minutes, fans exploded with reactions. YouTube thumbnails popped up. Fantasy posters went viral. TikTok wrestling analysts started booking full match storylines. And suddenly, a match no one expected was on everyone's mind again: Brock Lesnar versus Omos 2. A rivalry with unfinished business. For those who missed it, Brock Lesnar and Omos have clashed before at WrestleMania 39. Their first encounter was short, but shocking. Omos dominated Lesnar in the opening minutes, tossing him around the ring like a ragdoll. It was a bizarre sight. Brock Lesnar, the most feared powerhouse in WWE history, being overpowered. But in the end, Lesnar managed to rally back, land a massive F5, and score the win. Some fans dismissed the match as a filler segment. But for Omos, that loss wasn't a failure. It was a warning shot. He had proven that he could not only stand toe-to-toe with the Beast, but also push him to the brink. That's the story Omos wants to continue. To him, WrestleMania 39 wasn't the end. It was the beginning of a rivalry that needs closure. "We need to run it back" isn't a catchphrase, it's a mission. And if WWE wants a storyline with emotional weight, this is it. Omos isn't chasing fame, he's chasing redemption. Why Las Vegas is the perfect stage. There are reasons WrestleMania 42 might be the perfect place for this rematch to happen. First, Las Vegas is the city of massive entertainment. Everything here is larger than life. Brock Lesnar and Omos are exactly that. Real-life giants who tower over WWE's landscape. Imagine the atmosphere. Allegiant Stadium packed with over 70,000 fans. The lights dim. The Titantron beats like a heart. Then Omos's theme hits. The Nigerian Giant walks down the ramp with vengeance in his eyes. Moments later, Brock Lesnar storms out to a thundering roar. Vegas lives for main events, and Lesnar versus Omos is exactly the kind of attraction that belongs in a city built on big fights. Beyond that, there are real rumors swirling backstage that Brock Lesnar might be nearing the end of his WWE career. Contract speculation has him possibly walking away after WrestleMania 42. If that's true, then Las Vegas, where he once ruled the UFC Octagon, would be the perfect final battleground. And who better for him to face than the one man who truly matched his raw power? The creative direction and backstage buzz. Behind the scenes, WWE insiders have hinted that this match isn't just social media fantasy. It may already be on the creative table. There have been genuine efforts to present Omos as something more than just a giant attraction. His work ethic has earned respect backstage, and Triple H is rumored to see long-term potential in him. A rematch with Brock Lesnar isn't just another match. It could be the moment that establishes Omos as a true headliner. Meanwhile, internal advertising lists have reportedly included Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania 42 marketing. That suggests WWE expects him back, and if Lesnar returns, he won't do it for a mid-card feud. It has to be a match that matters. That's where this rematch makes sense. Omos gets the biggest chance of his career. Brock Lesnar gets a legacy storyline. WWE gets a marquee attraction. Everyone wins. Fans react. Is Run It Back worth it? The fan response has been exactly what WWE loves, divided and passionate. Some fans are hyped, calling it a dream rematch between two unreal forces of nature. They argue WWE should embrace monster versus monster storytelling again, especially on a stage like WrestleMania. Others are skeptical. They point out the first match was short and left little impression. Why do it again? Critics ask. But wrestling isn't about repetition, it's about stakes, and this time the stakes couldn't be higher. If this really is Brock Lesnar's final WrestleMania, WWE will want a storyline that feels mythic. What better way to close his career than by facing a man who could become the next dominant force of the company? How WWE could build the story. If WWE decides to move forward, the story writes itself. Omos begins destroying everyone in his path. Week after week, he crushes opponents on Raw, staking his claim as the most terrifying force in the company. MVP fuels the fire, calling out Lesnar in ruthless promos, accusing him of being afraid of a rematch. Then, when no one expects it, Brock's music hits. The arena explodes. Brock storms to the ring. No microphone, no speech, just one stare and a fight breaks out. Brock hoists Omos for a shocking F5 through the announce table. The match is set. The road to WrestleMania begins. Would Brock Lesnar actually say yes? The big question is, will Brock accept? Brock Lesnar doesn't show up unless he believes something is worth his time. He doesn't chase dream matches chase him. But Las Vegas is personal to Brock. It's where he conquered the UFC world. It's where he built his reputation as a combat legend. If WWE pitched this as his final ride, one last war in the city where he once ruled, it's not hard to see him saying yes, especially if the story ends with Brock passing the torch to a new monster like Omos. Legacy versus redemption, the perfect WrestleMania story. That's what makes this match special. It's more than a rematch. It's a story of legacy and redemption. Omos wants to prove he belongs. Brock wants to cement his legend. One man is rising. One is finishing his story. WWE loves poetic storytelling, and this could be one of those rare matches that means something deeper than wins and losses. Final prediction: will it happen? Here's the prediction. Expect the seeds to be planted soon, possibly at Royal Rumble 2026. Don't be surprised if Brock Lesnar returns as a surprise entrant and eliminates Omos, or vice versa. The rivalry will explode instantly. MVP will deliver scathing promos. Omos will look more dominant than ever. Brock will unleash pure chaos. And in Las Vegas, under the brightest lights, the Beast and the Giant will finally settle the score.